The sands of North Africa witnessed a pivotal turning point in World War II. Operation Torch, the Allied invasion of North Africa in November 1942, marked the first major Anglo-American offensive of the war. This campaign, fought across the scorching deserts and rugged mountains of Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, would have far-reaching consequences. It tested the mettle of inexperienced American troops and forged a crucial alliance between the Western Allies and the Free French. The decision to invade North Africa was not taken lightly. Europe was locked in a deadly struggle, with German forces seemingly unstoppable on the Eastern Front and in the Atlantic. Yet a direct assault on continental Europe in 1942 was deemed too risky. North Africa presented a more viable option. Control of the Mediterranean Sea, a vital supply route, was at stake. For more captivating stories from history, like and subscribe to Im Gott History Warfare. The Mediterranean Sea was the lifeblood of the British Empire. It served as a crucial artery for supplying British forces in the Middle East and beyond. Control of the Mediterranean also meant control of the Suez Canal, a vital waterway connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. The Axis powers, particularly Germany, recognized the strategic importance of the Mediterranean. If Germany could capture the Suez Canal, it could sever British supply lines and potentially deal a fatal blow to the British war effort. The struggle for North Africa was thus not merely a sideshow to the main event in Europe. For the Western Allies, North Africa represented an opportunity to strike at the Axis periphery and relieve pressure on the Soviet Union. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a struggle for survival that would shape the course of the war. Before the torch landings, a pivotal battle raged in the desolate deserts of Egypt. The Battle of El Alamein, fought in October 1942, marked a turning point in the North African Campaign. It was here that the resurgent British Eighth Army, under the command of General Bernard Montgomery, delivered a crushing defeat to the Axis forces led by the legendary German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, the Desert Fox. Rommel's Afrika Korps, having pushed deep into Egypt, threatened to capture Alexandria and Cairo. However, Rommel's forces were overextended and exhausted. Montgomery, a meticulous planner, amassed a formidable force and launched a carefully orchestrated attack. The Battle of El Alamein was a brutal slugfest, a clash of tanks and artillery across the barren desert landscape. The Axis forces were routed, suffering heavy casualties and forced into a headlong retreat westward. El Alamein was a much-needed victory for the Allies, restoring their morale and confidence. A new front, Operation Torch, ignites. With Rommel reeling from his defeat at El Alamein, the Allies launched Operation Torch. On November 8, 1942, American and British forces landed at 3 points along the coast of French North Africa, Casablanca in Morocco, and Oran and Algiers in Algeria. The operation, commanded by American General Dwight Eisenhower, aimed to capture key ports and airfields, secure Allied control of the Western Mediterranean, and open a second front against the Axis powers. The landings themselves were largely unopposed, as many French forces, demoralized and weary of war, offered little resistance. However, the political situation was complex. French North Africa was controlled by the Vichy French government, which, though nominally neutral, collaborated with Nazi Germany. The Allies hoped to secure the cooperation of the French forces, or at least minimize their resistance. Amidst the confusion and uncertainty, the fate of Operation Torch hung in the balance. Trial by fire, the Battle of Kasserine Pass. While the initial landings of Operation Torch proceeded relatively smoothly, the subsequent campaign in Tunisia proved to be a harsh test for the untested American troops. The Battle of Kasserine Pass, fought in February 1943, was a particularly bitter lesson in the realities of modern warfare. At Kasserine Pass, Rommel's Afrika Korps launched a surprise counterattack against the inexperienced American II Corps. The American troops, caught off guard and outmaneuvered, were routed, suffering heavy losses in men and equipment. The defeat, though stinging, proved to be a valuable learning experience. closing the trap victory in the Tunisian Campaign. Following the setback at Kasserine Pass, the Allies regrouped and launched a relentless offensive against the Axis forces now bottled up in Tunisia. Reinforced by British and Commonwealth troops, including seasoned veterans from the Desert War, the Allies gradually squeezed the Axis forces into a shrinking pocket in northeastern Tunisia. The final battles of the Tunisian Campaign were a chaotic and brutal affair, fought amidst the rugged terrain of the Atlas Mountains and the coastal plains. By May 1943, all Axis resistance in North Africa had crumbled. Over 275,000 German and Italian troops surrendered, effectively ending the North African Campaign. The Allied victory in Tunisia marked a turning point in the war. It secured Allied control of the Western Mediterranean, paving the way for the invasion of Sicily and mainland Italy. Bridge to Europe, the legacy of Operation Torch. Operation Torch and the subsequent North African Campaign, though often overshadowed by the titanic struggles on the Eastern Front and the D-Day landings, played a crucial role in the Allied victory in World War II. The campaign achieved several key objectives. Firstly, it secured Allied control of the Western Mediterranean, denying the Axis access to vital shipping lanes and oil supplies. Secondly, it relieved pressure on the Soviet Union by forcing the Germans to divert troops and resources to North Africa. Thirdly, it provided the Western Allies, particularly the Americans, with invaluable combat experience. The lessons learned in the deserts and mountains of North Africa would prove invaluable in future campaigns. The campaign also forged a lasting bond between the Western Allies, laying the groundwork for future collaborations that would ultimately lead to the liberation of Europe. For more incredible stories from history, make sure to like and subscribe to MGO TV History Warfare. Thank you for watching.